Now, what on earth could be the meaning of all this? Well, this is my new forge, or at least as far as I've gotten with it so far. It's an 1/8 inch steel box, 30 inches long on the outside by 13 across and 10 deep. And the interior cavity is going to be roughly 9 by 6 inches by 30, obviously. Um, as I said, 1/8 inch steel, so it's pretty firm. The welds are flux core, and I'm not a great welder, so they are adequate at best. But I've got a bunch of the Insul I got it from Budget Casting Supply. I got a full 25-foot roll of it. It's 2 feet wide by an inch thick by 25 feet long. And it's kind of like fiberglass. You generally don't want to touch it with your bare hands too much. And I got some fire bricks as well, a pack of those. And the fire bricks are going to make the doors for this forge. If I can get my stuff together. Basically, nothing fancy. They'll just slide in these little angle iron tracks. As soon as I get all that junk out of the way, I've got some of this Matricoat 90 stuff lining the bottom of it to make it a little harder and protect the insulatory wool. But I miscalculated how much I would need and ran out very quickly, so I ordered another larger container, and I'm going to finish this up, and also the piece for the roof of the forge. And then I'm going to get a piece of steel that I have somewhere. Oh, it's lying under that. And I'm going to just seal the whole thing and weld the entire top on. It'll be just permanent, because I know I'll end up making another forge later to replace this one, and I'll be able to do it even better that time, so I'm not too worried about it being super modular and changeable and whatnot. But yeah, these fire bricks will slide in the little tracks here, and they'll be able to pretty much cover the entire thing. So that's a pretty simple, okay way. I was trying to figure out a way to make a decent insulated hinged door and latches and a detachable roof so I could maintain it, and that was all just really complicated, and I just figured I'd just make it simple and make it a lot easier to do. And it's got 4 torch flares in here. These are 3/4 inch to 1 inch pipe adapters that I've ground the large thread out of, and the small thread still fits in, so I can screw these in. And then I've got some torches that I can, some propane injectors, more or less, that I can plug into the ends of the 4 torch pipes and blow a lot of fire into here. So it should be able to get very hot, and it should be pretty well insulated, so it should stay hot very well. And it should just be a lot more efficient and hotter than my longer forge, which had 2 burners in it, which had 2 hot spots, and then the rest of it was just not great. So not very consistent heat and hard to heat treat with. But this one was a little longer, so I can do longer blades in it, but not very well. This one's a little shorter, so I should be able to. I mean, the long saxes that I've been trying to make, hiding back there, they're 2 feet long, so they'll fit well within this length. And I should be able to do a little bit of casting with this as well. If I make myself some kind of little crucible, or find one, a decent one that I can fit in here, I should be able to do some casting with. I've got a shitload of bronze that my boss, we make little bronze bushings for some of the shifters that we make, and all of the scrap he would just throw away. So I've collected all of the solid bronze scrap that we've made so far, and it's probably 30 or 40 pounds of it. I don't know why he doesn't recycle it, but more for me, so I'm not complaining. But oh, if you're wondering what I cut this stuff with, the insulatory wool, It's not fun on knives, so I figured I'd just put one of these Mora knives to the test. These things were like 13 bucks on sale on a website, and a couple of friends and I did a group buy of them. This is just a little carbon steel version, and I mean, it cut it great. It was no problem at all. I had to sharpen it afterwards for doing other stuff, but I mean, I love this thing. It's great. Definitely recommend investing in a Mora knife if you, or a couple of them. Shit, it's not really, with as cheap as they are, it doesn't really count as an investment unless you get a boatload of them. But they're good knives to have. So I've got most of a layer of the Matra coat on this side and the bottom. I just need to do this side and the top, and I'll probably end up sanding this layer down and smoothing it out because I didn't mix it perfectly, and there were some thick areas that kind of pulled up a little bit whenever I was scraping it over, and I just need to do some cleanup on it. So whenever that new material comes in, I'll get this thing finished up, and hopefully it'll be finished up within the week and I'll be able to get it running. It's been a while. This forge has served me well, but it's time to upgrade and always improve. Got to do better than I did last time. So anyway, you guys have a great day.